What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Roy, accompanied by the one, the only, the Dominican Badman, Sergio, aka the Floor Price Guy, and we're Combat Sport Guys coming back to you with another UFC full card breakdown, this time in the form of UFC 319. Dricus du Plessis puts his middleweight championship on the line against the undefeated Hamza Chimaev. But before that, let's go over last week, UFC Vegas 109, Roman Dolidze getting absolutely demolished and embarrassed by Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. And I'll admit, as any good man does, I was wrong. I was on the side of Dolidze. I had picked Dolidze, whereas my counterpart over here, Floor Price Guy, picked Hernandez. He was victorious and he looked good. He moved up 3 spots in the rankings. I think he's next in line for a championship bout, maybe a number one contender fight and then the championship fight. But before we talk all about that, let's talk about how we did in terms of picks and bets on a card where where the odds were so wide. We managed to give you plays at plus money. I believe we gave you 5+ money plays. If you remember last week, the odds were minus 400 to plus 500. There was no value in terms of money lines, but we dug deep. We gave you those live bets. We gave you those prop bets. Without further ado, how you doing, Floor Price Guy?
I am good. It's always a pleasure doing this. Let's talk about money. I mean, look, we got 8 bets correct, and it was great. And then altogether, we probably had 12, 13 bets. Yeah, we cooked. I mean, look, Idiris Cachoeira. One of the things we did this time was we relied more on the over and under because of the odds, like you said before. So plus 165, Idiris and Cachoeira under landed. Fernandez over. Walker and Segria, you got it. I had it under. You got it over, which is very good. Yeah, it's a wrestler. So I think next time, for our viewers, one of the things to cash in might be takedowns for Walker. If you think Walker's good, bet on the takedowns.
And depending on who he fights next, because he does struggle on the feet, because when Sekeria was tagging him, he was shooting kind of desperately. He was trying to push him up against the cage. So that's something to look out for.
That was at the end. That was a cardio issue at the end, yeah. And Sekeria was desperate too.
But that's the same fight. That's the same kind of way he looked up against Menifield as well, right? Third round, he looked sluggish. His cardio is an issue. Yeah. His striking is.
He lasted against Menifield. Like I got to say, I'm more impressed with Menifield versus Sekeria. Like I think it was a cardio issue at the end.
Of course. Move on.
Edward Smith and Matsumoto minus 107.
What a KO by Smith, by the way. Powerbomb. Yeah, a la Rampage.
Plus, I knew that he was going to dominate, but I had him over 1.5. I didn't expect it, but yeah, I mean, there's levels, right?
Yeah.
Edwards and another Edwards and Cachoeira under 2.5. I think that was a live bet that I put. Brundage and Meconico at live bet at a plus 100 fucking percent. Like two sloppy guys, if they don't end it, they go past 1.5. I think this one was a great play. Minus 183. Lucindo looked great.
She's great, man. And exactly what I said, right? She was gonna gain from that loss to Lemos at UFC 311. She looked good.
I gladly put $100 in that one and cashed in. But what if Amanda Hill? Guys, like. Amanda Hill's not the other girl. The other Lucinda's not the other girl.
She's not Souza, yeah.
Yes, not Souza, but also Amanda Lemos is good. So put some respect on her. Usyk by points or Osborne by KO, TKO.
Great bet, right? Usyk ended up winning was it unanimous decision?
Yeah, unanimous.
It was a unanimous decision, and call it what you want, panic wrestling, whatever. But he was prepping for a grappler, right? And he has a grappling background, and Osborne. No surprise. We've talked about it before. He is dangerous in the first round. He has dangerous striking. He can't put you out. And he clipped him in that first round, and it was looking dicey. I bet you were excited, right, when he dropped him?
I knew he was going to do that. Because he now I just, that's what I had the money line. Remember, I had a money line for Osborne, and I told you, hey, but, Usyk next time, brother, maybe you don't showcase that boxing and just try to go take him down immediately. But it's also at the end he switched it up and caused the opening. But Usyk got wobbled a couple times.
And Usyk, just like we talked about, his confidence is shot. He even talked about his confidence. He's like, even in the Moreno fight, I had that KO loss to Kai Kara France in the back of my mind, because when Moreno was landing, I was thinking, man, can this guy lock me out? Like, is my chin gone? Like, he was very hesitant. So hopefully this is good in his confidence. It boosts his confidence, and he gets back up to that top 5 because he's been losing 3 in a row. I think 2 in a row. 3 in a
Yeah,
row.
but it begs the question: if Osborne would have come in with a full camp, what have we would have looked like, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We both went 9 out of 12. I think where all of us effed up was what do you
Brundage.
call it? Brundage, and there was another fight that went
And what a
south.
fucking shitty decision on that card, man. Brundage and McConaughey.
Yeah,
They gave McConaughey the second round where Brundage clearly won. Ridiculous.
I did want to share. So we do, like we said, we always do live pick, live betting. He liked that, eh? We always do live betting on X, and we gave you 2.
Hey, tooting your own horn, bro.
You like
Go
that,
ahead.
eh?
I love it. Go ahead.
I was actually at work. Like I was actually when I'm like, oh, it's contender series tonight. Let me look in, and I saw 2 names that I know. I was like, oh, these guys are taking it. We gave you a minus 121. Listen, boys, I gotta say this was the most entertaining fights. Everything else sucked, and there's a reason why. And that's what you told me prior to us starting the show is that Susrkaev is fighting, and I'm like, that's my guy. That's how
exactly. And you were already doing another show prior, so you didn't see the news. I kind of broke it to you because this fight literally got put together a couple hours ago. And so we'll talk about that when the time comes. But that bet you gave us last night at minus 121 and a Dana White Contender Series that a lot of people are saying was probably the worst one ever.
He was mad, bro. Did you see the post?
I saw clips. Yeah, I didn't see it live, but I did see it after the fact.
Bro, he was like, "Yeah, kid, you need to be better." That's that. Then he goes, he rips the other one, and then he gets to Miller. Miller, you're okay. We're signing you. And then when he gets to Susrkaev, he says, "If it wasn't for you, this whole night would have been shit."
Well, when he knocked him out, he even said, "Oh, he saved my Tuesday, man. He saved my Tuesday."
Yeah. I mean, there was a skill gap there.
Yeah, there was a skill gap.
That's why the minus 375. But yeah, like one of the things is, and now you can make a little Dana White Contender Series for the boys or the girls. Follow us. You know, we're always on live, and let's roll.
Exactly. Follow us on X at Combat Sport Guys. It's right there. We go live every fight card. We give you immediate fight updates. We give you fight updates as they're occurring. And then we also give you live bets. So be on the lookout for that. We have been successful at that. We have given you plus money plays, some interesting insights as to how fights are going. Sometimes the odds sway in a fight, right? And then Floor Price guy who loves to do the live bets, he kind of looks at it, he's like, oh, this guy, this is a little bit biased here. What?
Billy Elianenko versus Ido. That was a good one.
Ibo Aslan. Ibo.
Well, that motherfucker getting cut if he doesn't
exactly. No, they're fighting. I think he's fighting a Tafa brother, isn't he?
Tafa's gonna put him out.
I might be tripping on that, but I think Ebo's fighting a Tafa brother. I might be wrong on that. But anyways, make sure you guys hit the like, hit the subscribe. We do try to provide you with our bets, our parlays, our money lines, our props. We always try to look for plus money plays to give you guys on top of the our confident minus money plays. We always try to do that, and we try to do it for free, right? We don't charge you anything. We don't charge you a fee. We don't charge anything. We give you all this for free on X. We put them out every Thursday or Friday, depending on how our scheduling is. But make sure you tap in, show some love. That's all we ask for. We're here every week. We haven't missed a card yet, and we don't plan on doing so. There will be timestamps below. Without further ado, let's get into UFC 319. We do have some of the Ultimate Fighter finalists being added to this card. So we have a flyweight bout and a welterweight bout. We will discuss those as well as our guy Susrkaev. I believe that's how you say his name. Susrkaev taking on Eric Nolan. So Baysinger Susrkaev versus CFFC welterweight champion Eric Nolan, right? Susrkaev, we just saw him on Tuesday. He's 8-0 and is 5-5 last beating Murtaza Talha via KO TKO with that front kick to the body that literally collapsed his opponent. He freaking yelled out, he curled up, and then he got the victory, right? Vicious kick to the body. Nolan is 8-3-0 and is 4-5 last beating Blaine Richards via KO TKO. Now, when you look at both their fighting styles, Susrkaev, he has really good striking, right? He's one of those Russian guys, like one of those rarities where he has really good striking, really good boxing on top of the grappling. He's a very well-rounded, touted prospect. He pushes forward, he's aggressive, he secures takedowns, he hits vicious hooks to the body, nice kicks. He's going up against Nolan, who is he's a finisher in his own right. He has 6 of his 8 wins coming via stoppage. He has an aggressive fighting approach. He moves forward and he looks for that knockout. He has some pop behind his punches, and I think that's kind of going to be his downfall in this fight, right? He's going up against a highly touted prospect. He asked to be put on the card. He trains with Hamzat Chimaev. They're friends. I think he's going to come forward. He's going to have that aggressive style, and Susrkaev's going to be able to find the knockout here. So I'm going to go with Susrkaev to win via inside the distance. I think I'm going to parlay him with Chimaev. It's only right, man. It's only right.
Man, my boy getting a little bit risky over there, eh?
How's that risky? How's that risky?
You never know. But I'm going to go with Susrkaev.
You go with the same one.
Yeah, but I picked him. What do you?
Yeah, I got you.
But
he's good, bro. He's good, bro. His striking is nice, man.
Under 1 round. He gets it done in the first round.
Okay, there you go. So you're saying I'm risky, but you're predicting the first round knockout. All right, man.
He's gonna go in there. He's gonna get it done in a round, bro. That boy Nolan was chosen. They say, "Hey, bro, we're gonna."
No.
we need meat.
What did I tell you off air? Nolan didn't watch the Contender Series, so they came to him like, "Hey, the UFC's been paying attention. They see that I'm the champ. They want me to make my debut. He doesn't know who he's going up against, bro."
It's scary for that. No, I mean, look, I really hope that Nolan, comes prepared, because like he's gonna, he's just more versatile than Chimaev. I find Susrkaev, like he's just, the striking is like so crisp.
Yeah, Susrkaev should get it done here. We're both on the side of Susrkaev. We will move on to our next fight. This is the Ultimate Fighter finale for the flyweights. We have UFC alum Joseph Morales taking on the undefeated Alibi Idiris. Idiris is 10-0 and is 5-5, last beating Elderson Santos Jr. via KO. Morales is 12-2-0 and is 3-5, last beating Anthony Doe via submission. Now, when you look at both these fighters, they both hold their own on the ground. They both have exceptional grappling, but I think the striking edge goes to Alibi Idiris. He throws nice combinations, nice hooks to the body. His combinations are really well. He starts at the body and he finishes at top like any great boxer would. And he uses his striking really well to incorporate takedowns, and I think that's what's going to happen here. I don't see a world where Morales is going to be able to outstrike him and then secure takedown. I think it's going to be Alibi pushing the pace, securing the takedowns, securing positions of advantage on the ground up against Morales, like taking his back, having him flat on the ground. It's going to be nice. We're going to see some nice scrambles. We've seen Joseph Morales kind of in trouble in the Ultimate Fighter, but he does have that experience, right? So if you're on the side of Morales, he has fought in the UFC. He has fought in front of big crowds. So the nerves and everything are not going to be quite as there as in comparison to Idiris, right, who's making his UFC debut and pay-per-view card. So there's that, but I think Idiris is good, man. I like his striking, I like his grappling. He should get it done here.
We're gonna go with Idiris. We're gonna keep it short.
Right on. We're both going with Idiris. We'll move on here to our next one. We have Rodrigo. That's a beautiful name, by the way. Rodrigo Sezinado versus Neal Donchenko. Sensinado's 8-1-0 and is 4-5, last beating Jonathan Ramsey via strikes. Donchenko's 11-2-0 and is 4-5, last beating Rusta Kudabergenov via unanimous decision. Now, Sezinado, when you look at him, he has relentless pressure. He's able to grind out fights. He pushes forward. He has good cardios, and he adapts very well. He looks to take it to the ground and just grind out a decision win. He's pretty good in that regard. Whereas he's going up against Donchenko, who has a kickboxing background. He's a highly touted prospect. He's 24 years old. He has really nice striking. He has 7 KO, TKO victories, and 2 submission wins. So he holds his own on the ground as well. My only question or concern here is if Sezinado is able to weather the initial storm and then take down Donchenko and then have him on his back, is how is he going to look then? But I think the striking of Donchenko is good enough and his takedown defense is okay enough to get the victory here. So I'm going to go with Donchenko to pull it out, man.
I'm also going to go with Donchenko. Like, he's going to have a good night. And this is the middleweight jury. Middleweight jury. Like you see in the little picture.
Yeah, he's good though, man. His striking is really well. I like the way he throws his combos.
I just hope that if these guys win, they get at least a similar contract to Dana White Contender Series allowance.
One
Really,
thing we didn't talk about, bro, is UFC has a new TV deal, right?
we'll do it at the end. We'll
Paramount.
do it at the end so we can lock in.
Yeah, we'll lock in. Next up, we have our women's flyweight bout. We have Karine Silva taking on Deonna Barbosa. Deonna Barbosa is coming in on short notice. Karine Silva was originally supposed to fight JJ Aldrich. She pulled out of the fight. In comes in Deonna Barbosa. Silva is 18-5-0 and is 4-5, last losing to Viviana Araujo via unanimous decision. Barbosa is 8-3-0 and is 4-5, last beating Deonna Belpita via submission. This is a rematch. Both these girls fought, I believe, 6-7 years ago. And in their initial fight, Barbosa kind of got the jab going. She secured some takedowns, had decent control, and ended up winning the decision victory the last time out. But that was 6 years ago. Since then, both girls have evolved. They gotten better. When you look at the side of Silva, she is strong. She's a solid grappler. She has a BJJ background. Her striking is functional, and she utilizes them to secure takedowns. She shoots doubles, pushes you up against the fence, drags you down. Once on the ground, she looks to finish you. She looks for submission. She gets busy. My issue with her and watching her last fight against Viviana Araujo, she was taken down. She has poor takedown defense. She was taken down 3 times out of the 3 attempts from Araujo. She was controlled for 2 minutes and 25 seconds, and her takedown defense at a 43% accuracy. She's going up against Barbosa, who is improving. Her primary weapon is her grappling, particularly her submission skills. Once on the ground, she utilizes her jiu-jitsu to find the finish. She has a background in judo. She is a judoka. She's a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and she's shown ability to control fights on the ground. Her striking is improving, but going back to their first fight, she utilized her jab really well and then incorporated the takedowns to get the victory. And I think since then, her striking has gotten better. I think in this fight, she's going to look towards closing the distance, being the aggressor, pushing the pace, right? And then securing the win here. My only concern is she is on short notice. How's the gas tank going to look? But I'm pretty confident she can get it done. I'm going to go with Barbosa.
I mean, look, you want to talk about the best dog in this card? I think it has to be within Barbosa. I mean, you want to talk about a girl dangerous in the striking, grappling. Like, if you saw Silva getting struggled in the ground, like against or Viviana, you're going to see something very similar with Deonna Barbosa. Now, like that's I think that's the bet. Are you betting on the fact that Barbosa's not ready enough? Like, brother, I got to say, like, if she wasn't ready, she would have not taken this fight.
Yeah, I think she took the fight knowing that, okay, I've fought this girl before. I have a game plan. I've beaten her once, and we know what path of victory to take, right?
Oh yeah, we do. We definitely do. I was actually I wanted to kind of like throw some money right now.
I know. I see you on your phone. I was like, he's probably putting the bet right now while I'm
talking.
talking.
Yeah, because like at a plus 175, I'm taking it a money line. I just don't think Silva has anything for Barbosa fight night. If that's all we got, like she's gonna get tired, bro. It's gonna be a long fucking night. But I'm gonna go with Barbosa. I'm just gonna put the money line. I'm not gonna get creative inside the distance or money line for this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this fight goes over the 2.5. I gotta look at the line, the odds for that, but I think she gets it done too. As a dog here, I like the value for Barbosa. I think she's coming into her own, right? So her striking's improving, her ground game is really well. So I'm gonna go with Barbosa as well. As a dog, first dog pick of the night. Next up, we have a middleweight bout. We got our boy Brian Battle taking on Nursultan Ruziboev. Battle is 12-2-0 and is 4-5, last beating Randy Brown via split decision, where a lot of people felt that Randy Brown should have won that fight. I believe you were on the side of Brown. I was on the side of Battle. Battle came in overweight. He missed weight that fight. It was after Thanksgiving. He probably had a lot of peach cobbler. He probably had a lot of turkey, a lot of potatoes. My boy came in a little big. He pushed him up against the fence, landed some significant strikes, and then gutted out a victory. But this time out, that fight was at welterweight. Now he's up at middleweight, maybe because he was having weight issues. He said he has some unfinished business at middleweight. He's taken on Ruziboev, who is 36-9-2 and is 4-5, last beating Dustin Stolfutz via unanimous decision. Battle, as we mentioned, he has solid ground game. Once on the ground, his striking is fundamental. He has dog mentality. He pushes he pushes the pace forward. And as the fight progresses, he kind of ups his volume and ups his output, right? We saw it against Kevin Jousset, right? At UFC Paris, as the fight progressed, he got more aggressive. He threw with more volume. He threw with more output. He's a pressure fighter. And His game plan last time when he missed weight against Randy Brown wasn't the best. I was kind of upset. I was happy that he got the one right because I bet him, I picked him, but I did not like his performance. How did George St. Pierre say it? I am not impressed by your performance. Now you look at Ruziboev, right? He's tall, he's lengthy, he's 6'5". He has fought at welterweight, but last time out at welterweight, he lost to Buckley. And in that fight, it was on short notice. He was dehydrated. He was taken down, but I don't knock him too much for that. I know a lot of people are. They're kind of looking at that fight without looking at it in depth, knowing that it's short notice, knowing that he came in at 170. Ruziboev, however, has good wrestling. He doesn't utilize it as much, but he does. If he's able to take down battle, he can secure control time. And when Ruziboev has length, he can dictate the pace. Against Stutfels, he started off slow, dropping the first round, but then he picked it up in the later rounds. He has dangerous power behind his shots. We often talk about length and size, right? So in this fight, I don't see battle with how big Ruziboev is, putting him up against the fence, closing the distance, kind of bullying him how he did with Randy Brown. I see Ruziboev utilizing his length. He has a nice right hook, utilizing his length, and then securing key takedowns here. But I like Ruziboev as a dog, man. You talked about dogs. I think Ruziboev is a good dog to bet on. I think he can get the offensive wrestling going, utilize his length to not let battle dictate the pace, and push him up against the fence and kind of utilize his own game plan against him. I think Ruziboev gets it done, man, in a decision here.
Ruziboev get it done. One of the things, bro, I'm like crazy pissed because like I want to get money so badly out of the fucking account and throw it at Barbosa right now. I'm so pissed. Fuck these Web3 wallets. Anyways, yeah, man. Look, you want to really look at it, how things are. Like I think this is Brian Battle's toughest opponent to date. Right? If you look at the last loss, first and foremost, Ruziboev dropped down to welterweight. And it was severely dehydrated, bro. Like, bro, you don't got to drop that low. However, he faced a top 5 fighter at the time,
who was at a 6-fight win streak, right?
So, I think along with Barbosa, this is a banger of a fight. And you parlay Barbosa. I don't know if you want to do that just in case, right? You can't be too fucking degen. But if you parlay these two, you're looking at a plus 552. So
nice. And I haven't bet against Battle, right? If this fight was at welterweight, I'm on the side of Battle all day, man. I like Battle welterweight. I thought he was good. I thought he was kind of a weight. Remember you talked about it, Battle being a weight bully at welterweight. He's going back to middleweight. He used to fight at light heavyweight, right? Or was it heavyweight?
No. But I'm trying to remember when was he's like when he
was big before. He was
when
a big boy.
Fought Gabe Green and all these guys. Actually,
yeah.
Because like when did that change happen, bro? This guy's a weight bully, bro. We fought Renat. We're not. We're not. Trezhengor. No, Trezhengor.
Trishangor is middleweight.
Let me see 1 second. I'll tell you when the switch was. Here it is. Gabe Green.
Interesting.
Gabe Green. Randy Brown was actually a welterweight, so he did drop down. Actually,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was at welterweight. He fought at welterweight.
Why would he do that?
That's what I'm saying. This fight is at middleweight. It's Ruziboev is big, man. He's 6'5", bro, and at welterweight, he's gonna come in at over 200 pounds. I would imagine.
Shit, yeah.
I don't see Battle putting him up against the cage like he did Randy Brown. I don't see him.
The other thing, you're dealing with somebody with very good like hands too. This guy has good, like his like striking is superb, bro. And Brian has 1 inch reach against him, but then you have Ruziboev. It has 4 more inches of height, so it neglects the reach factor. So Ruziboev, I expect Ruziboev to really go the kicks, the distance. Brian Battle putting pressure on. I if I'm Battle, bro, like it's a tough fight for Battle, but we'll see where he's at.
Yeah, earlier in the week when we talked, you were on the side of Battle. You were kind of going back and forth with me. What changed your mind?
Because I was trying to kind of like the thing is he didn't look as good against Randy Brown, right?
A lot of people thought he lost that fight. A lot of people thought he
lost. 100%, because he didn't have that level of takedowns against Brown. And Brown in the past has been taken down, right? Even by Nico Price years ago.
Mhm.
years ago, right? There's a lot of different factors here. And I was like, if he's relying on his grappling and this guy's able to stuff it, it's in a whole
Mhm.
different stuff. Now, he did outpace the French dude, right? So what could happen if he puts a pace on Ruziboev? That's the question.
But then Josette didn't look too good on UFC. I think it was 305.
Yeah, and he was the favorite,
And
and
we
he
picked
just
him. We picked him, and he ended up
I like
fucking
I like the French. The French was good. It's just the other guy was just better than Nate.
yeah.
Way
So we're
better.
both on the side of Nursultan Ruziboev as the dog to get it done at middleweight. Two
Yes, sir.
dogs back to back, Barbosa and Ruziboev. We'll move on here to our next fight. We have some veterans, some older cats. Edson Barbosa taking on Drakkar Klose. Barbosa is 24-12-0 and is 3-5 last, losing to Lerone Murphy via unanimous decision. Klose is 15-3-1 and is 4-5 last, losing to Joel Alvarez via KO, where he got that knee to the body, finished against Joe Alvarez. Barbosa is a great striker. He's technical. He has knockout power. He's got speed. He lost to Lerone Murphy. I think that was, I don't know if that was a main event. Was that a main event? Can you
That was
verify
main
that?
event. That was
It
his
was a
main
main.
event.
It was a 5-round fight. So he has cardio. He's fought the best of the best in the division. He's been around for a long time. He's had a couple wars. His takedown defense is really good at a 72%. He's going up against Klose, who has a wrestling background. He utilizes it offensively. He
Yeah.
does struggle with takedowns, however. He has solid boxing and good technique. I think Barbosa here, man, he's fighting at this fight is at lightweight. He's moving up from featherweight, so it's gonna. I don't know if his speed's gonna transfer, but I
He
know his
wasn't. He
power is.
wasn't. He was struggling at featherweight, bro.
Well, yeah, as you get older, it's harder to make the weight, right? We saw Jose Aldo. How did he go out in his last fight, bro? My boy came in 10 pounds over, remember? So, anyways, yeah, I think Barbosa should get it done here. He should be able to defend some takedowns and win on the feet. And those exchanges, I'm going to go with Barbosa, man. I know a lot of people are going to say that he's old and whatnot, but yeah, I think he gets it done.
I think Barbosa gets it done, man. I think like Klose and Barbosa, good fight. I mean, minus 150 is a gimme for Barbosa. Like, what are you gonna tell me? Barbosa doesn't have takedown defense? He has takedown defense.
Yeah.
It's just, can Klose make it a scrap? And the other better question is, will Barbosa allow it to? Because Barbosa is very technical. The speed, I would say, look for kicks on the side of Barbosa. If I'm close, I'm trying to make it a dogfight, like trying to kind of, same with Brian Battle. I'm gonna try to strike in and grapple, try to tire this guy out, and see if I could like win from there.
Yeah. And then, like, given Close last loss, he was finished with the knee. I think it was to the body, if I remember correctly. Was it to the body or was it a knee to the face? I think it was a knee to the body.
Close,
Yeah.
I think, to the body.
Yeah, it was knee
But
to the body.
Joel
So
Alvarez is just
he's a big
Joel.
dude. Now he's at
That's
welterweight now. He's at
what
welterweight now.
is the weight
But
for?
anyways, well, my point is now, given that loss, I think Edson should look to attack the body, right? Utilize those kicks, throw some kicks to the legs, throw some kicks to the body, kind of break them down that way. But yeah, we're both going with Barbosa to get it done. We'll move on to our next bout here, which we have Anthony Hernandez, not Anthony, Alexander Hernandez, the Great Ape, taking on Chase Hooper. This is a good fight, man. Hernandez is 16-8-0 and is 3-5 last, beating Kurt Hollabaugh via unanimous decision. Hooper is 16-3-1 and is 5-5 last, beating Jim Miller via unanimous decision. Hooper called for this. He said, I am no longer interested in fighting these veterans. I've already proved that I could beat these veterans, these guys with experience. Give me these young guys. Give me the guys with, the hunger, the guys who are looking to move up in the divisions. When you look at Hooper, he's well-rounded. He has that strong Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that slick, submission game. His striking is improving. His body's filling out. Like when he first came on the scene, he was that long, lengthy, skinny kid. Now he's looking a little more grown, a little more thicker. His striking, the technique is improving. He's coming into his own, right? Like I mentioned, he's going up against the Great Ape Hernandez, who's a dynamic striker. He has a kickboxing base. He's known for fast, powerful body kicks, leg kicks, and solid boxing. He has a wrestling background. We saw it last time out against Kurt Hollabaugh. He incorporated some takedowns, which ultimately won him the fight. He moved up, right? He was originally at featherweight. I think now he's at lightweight, right? This is a lightweight.
No, even in his last fight, he was still a lightweight.
Yeah. So this is lightweight. So what I'm trying to say is he moved up from featherweight, and at lightweight he's looked better. He's at a newer gym. His takedown defense is at a 71%. I think this fight is a lot closer than what the odds say. I think currently Hooper's at a minus 300, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it could be a lot closer because Hernandez does have good striking. He does have that wrestling background. How's his submission defense going to look? And, Chase Hooper, when you look at the size, you got a guy who's 5'9" up against somebody who's 6'1", who has a 2-inch reach advantage. And if and when the fight gets taken down to the ground, Hooper's going to be longer. He's going to be a lot slicker in his transitions. I think it's going to be a good fight, but I think Hooper gets it done here, man.
To rank Hooper at 27 ranked, it's crazy in topology, I have to say. It means he's getting closing up. I don't think he's ready yet. I think this is actually a big fight for Hooper. There's a lot of things here because, even against the old veterans, it's just Hooper had that weight advantage on them, right? Like that youngness, that cardio output as well. I give him the cardio output against Hernandez. It gets a little bit better. The thing is, when I think about Hernandez, I think about the Hernandez that came in last minute at stunned Neal Dariush, knocked him out in the first round, right? Had that TJ Dillashaw movement, killed him. Then he fought Austin, the French guy. The French dude ended up becoming PFL champion, $1 million. Then he fought Cerrone. And after the Cerrone fight, I haven't felt he's been that.
He's been inconsistent.
Yeah, Cerrone really fuck with his head. In this fight, what do I expect? Look, if you could neglect Hooper's takedowns and just strike with him, I think you're gonna have a very good shot. What's the reach too? 72, 74. So he has the reach, but if Hernandez comes in mean and ready to hurt a motherfucker, he's gonna do good, but he cannot be gun shy against this kid. He has to live by the blade, die by the blade. You cannot play if he comes timid, Hooper's gonna do work. But if he comes aggressive, I think he has a shot at winning. So I'm gonna go with Hernandez in this fight. Did I send you the picks with Hernandez? Yeah, no, I did. So Hernandez for me.
Right on. You're going with the dog in Alexander Hernandez, and I like Hernandez, man. I think he's really good. I think he's well rounded. It's just his inconsistency, right? And
plus 300 is good.
The thing is, if he comes in trying to throw leg kicks and stuff, and Hoop catches one and then drags him to the ground, he could get the sub here. So yeah, we're on opposing ends. We'll see what happens. Good luck. Next up, we have Jessica Andrade taking on Lupita Godinez. Andrade is 26-14-0 and is 2-5 last, losing to Jasmine. Jazzy, baby. Jazz the Vicious via submission. Godinez is 13-5-0 and is 3-5 last, beating Julia Polastri via unanimous decision. Now, I'm going to make this very simple. Andrade in her last fight, she's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Everybody was tweeting, who gave her black belt? She was lying flat on her back. She was being controlled by Jasmine. Jasmine's a big girl, right? She's good. She has good grappling, good ground game. But a lot of people were really questioning, where's the jiu-jitsu at? Where's her ground game at, right? Because she was just getting controlled and mauled. And Godinez, in her last fight against Julia Polastri, she looked good. She was securing takedowns. What had happened there was, I think she had to go to the bathroom. Remember? She had to go to the bathroom. She said she had to take a dump. And then she kind of let Julia have some success on the feet. And then Polastri's a fucking beast. Polastri was coming forward, taking hits, kind of egging on the exchanges. And, Godinez bit into it. And I think she dropped that third round. But she got it done. When you look at Andrade, she's a bully. She moves forward. She's an aggressive striker. She has that nice overhand right. She does struggle up against higher caliber grapplers like Suarez, Blanchfield, people like that, right? Lupi, on the other end, she's well-rounded. She has that strong wrestling and striking pressure. She averages 2.52 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 47% accuracy. That's per UFC stats. I think she should look to utilize her grappling here. She can't get into a dogfight with Andrade because Andrade does have that power, right? But I think Lupi, a lot of people criticize her because she has been inconsistent in the past. She has made some poor IQ decisions, but she's the better fighter. She should get it done here. I think Lupi wins.
Yeah, I'm going to Lupita. So the one thing I was looking at is this fight at 150, 115. She's dropping again.
This is it says strawweight, yeah.
And I have to tell you something.
Oh, your girl's dropping, right?
bro. Like Andrade is a problem at 115, but the up and down, bro, is too much, man. Pick a lane, like her.
Yeah.
And I said this before. Her lane is strawweight. Like she became strawweight champion at strawweight. She should have stayed in strawweight. But what happens is, bro, she gets bored and she loses the championship. Goes up to fight the flyweight contender, beats her up, gets a shot at the title. I'm sick of this, bro. Like pick a lane. At 33 years old, you gotta pick a lane, man. And
yeah,
now that it's a strawweight, like she's gonna come a little bit more power advantage than Lupita. Then Lupita's gonna bring a couple of different skill sets. Now, what I don't like from Andrade is that she's been a little bit gun shy, champ. Like the footwork hasn't evolved. She just relies on being mean. That worked a couple of like 6-7 years ago. That worked.
Well, I think the route to victory got kind of exposed, right? You just take her down. Take away that striking.
Yeah, but Lupita's gonna strike with her though. Lupita's gonna strike with her, but
not early on. I think she's gonna get some takedowns early.
Try to take her down? Does she?
You don't think Godinez takes down Andrade at all? Okay, that's crazy.
She might take her down. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I just like I am going to with Lupita, but I'm trying to give Andrade a chance here because Andrade is like I said, bro. At straw weight, she's a problem.
Yeah, she's faster. She's smaller. Yeah,
faster, yeah. But she has that one round to.
It could happen too, like we said, right? There's always a puncher's chance. But I think if Godinez comes in with the smart game plan, takes her down, controls her like all these other girls have, I think she should be victorious.
I also just don't know that Andrade has had a lot of issues in the past, like the divorce, there's been a lot of hiccups, and you kind of have to ask yourself where's she coming from now? Like, is she coming from a place where she wants to fight, she wants to become champion, or is she collecting a paycheck? Because that I would be, and that's none of our concern, but it does factor in how much hungry you are, how prepared you are.
And that's something we can't gauge, right? We kind of realize that after the fact too.
No, and just because of that, bro, I'm gonna give it to Lupita. I can't read Andrade anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, and then you've been on Andrade's side for some time, and she's let you down a couple times. Yeah. All right, we'll move on here. We're both on the side of Lupe Godinez to get it done against Jessica Andrade. Next up, we have Gerald Meerschaert taking on Mikhail Oleksiejczuk.
Yep,
I pronounced it right, bro. I've always had trouble with that last name. I think I pronounced it right. What would you rate that pronunciation out of 1 through 10? What would you rate that pronunciation?
Better than Chael Sonnen, bro. Better than Chael Sonnen.
Oh man, I think Chael Sonnen does it on purpose. I think that at this point, it's kind of like a shoot,
Chael's very American, bro. Some of these American guys, bro. They don't like to. And it's coming from a Chael fan. I love Chael.
But do you think Chael's okay? Let me ask you about Chael. Do you now looking back today, like during the moment it was awesome, but now looking back, do you think his trash talk was kind of corny? Kind of rehearsed, kind of corny?
He had the best trash talk, bro, because he didn't
at the time. But looking at it back now, do you think it's kind of corny?
No, bro. Corny? That guy's the GOAT, bro.
My man said the men's regret, the women's pick. What are we doing, bro?
No, but
men's regret. What does that mean? Men's regret,
bro. When they got my boy on a phone call, my boy said, "Tell Andrew Silva I'm coming over. I'm patting her ass. Sorry, I'm patting her wife's ass. I'm hitting." I forgot what he said. He's gonna hit Anderson Silva's wife's ass, and I'm gonna tell her to make me a steak medium rare. Bro, those were different times, bro, my boy.
Well, now you get canceled for that. Now you get canceled for that, bro.
No, I don't think he gets canceled. My boy.
Now you get canceled for that. But anyways, let's break down this fight. Meerschaert is 37-19-0 and is 2-5. Last losing to my boy Rene De Ridder via submission. De Ridder has been a dog in every one of his fights in the UFC. Isn't that crazy? They keep disrespecting that man. Anyways, only
way bully.
Oh, yeah, that dude's a way. He's been a way bully. Oleksiejczuk. Oh damn, that was a bad pronunciation. Oleksiejczuk is 29-0 and is 2-5. Last beating Cedric Dumas via KO. Cedric Dumas, bro, the dude that was hiding in a dog crate. My man who came into the weigh-ins with an ankle monitor, bro, and couldn't fight because his probation officer said, "Hey, no, you can't do it. It's out of bounds.
Crazy.
No, I'm just kidding. Listen, by now you should know what GM3 brings to the table, right? Meerschaert, he has that Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that submission threat. He's unorthodox with his striking. He gets hit often and he gets dropped often. But when he does, he usually recovers and ends up finding the submission in his opponents. A lot of opponents have made the mistake where they drop him, they chase him to the ground. We saw it with Edmund Shabazian, right? That poor IQ. When he dropped him, he followed him to the ground and he got submitted. GM3 fight versus RDR, both those guys I feel respected their submission threat and their ground game, that fight was merely striking, right? So he gave RDR probably his toughest fight, I would say. Oh no, Robert Whittaker gave him his toughest fight, but for his debut, that was a tough fight because they were both merely striking. Yeah. But Mikel has way better striking than RDR, right? I think the offensive pressure would be too much for GM3. He's fast. He has decent pop. He's an aggressive brawler with a strong boxing foundation, right? He has been submitted in the past, but the fight starts off standing. And I think GM3 doesn't have the takedown threat. You know, he's good on the ground, but his takedown threat isn't that good. So if the fight's standing, it's on its feet, I think Mikel can find the knockout here, can find the chin. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if GM3 gets the submission. This is one of those fights where it can go either way. That's why I'm not betting it, but I'm picking Oleksiejczuk to get it done here. He's 30 years old. He's younger. He has the striking power. I think he should be smart. Yeah.
I do have Mikael's winning this, bro. I just, throughout the years, Gerald has slowed down quite a bit. And then when he kind of gets into that striking mode, he's a little bit slower than usual. He did very good against Eddie Sebastian. That was very barring Barbarena.
He couldn't take down Brad Tavares, man. Who has some of the most best takedown defense though?
And I think I went with Meerschaert back then.
I think you picked Meerschaert. Yeah, I picked Tavares.
I thought he was going to take him down, but Brad has always had very good takedown defense.
Yeah,
except for Joel Romero, the GOAT. Shout out to the GOAT. But I think Mitchell gets it done. I think.
I love you.
I love
you, Miss B. I love you.
My boy.
My favorite moment, bro. Go ahead. My belt.
No, and also the losses have been from good fighters, except Kevin Holland. Let's be honest. Michael Pereira kind of stunned him in the first round, knocked him out. Similar to Holland. Holland was the first round. I think he's addressed that with the nerves, but with Gerald, I mean, what do you got to do? You got to come in. You got to be aggressive against this guy, but he might get countered and get knocked out. So I'm gonna go with Michal.
Is he truly training with for this fight?
Fighting nerds, baby.
He's training with the nerds, right? We don't do that no more, bro. We don't pick fighters. I mean, we don't pick based off of the fact that they're training with the fighting nerds because that has been our downfall in the past. But I mean, it looks like he's trying to address the ground issues, right? So,
oh yeah,
we're both going with Mikel to get it done here. But if it goes the other end, I wouldn't be surprised. We'll move on to our next fight. We have your boy Bobby, formerly known as Bobby. He's now changed his name. He's King Green, taking on Diego Ferreira. Also, two older guys, 38 and 40 years old. Green is 32, 17 and 1, and is 2-5, last losing to Mauricio Hoofy via KO, where he landed that beautiful head kick at UFC. I want to say it was 314. Was it 314 in Miami? Yeah. 314. Ferreira is 19-6-0 and is 2-5, last losing to Grant Dawson via unanimous decision, where Grant Dawson really, utilizes takedowns and his control, and then he dropped that iconic post-fight interview. His wife got the dumpy. Thank you to my wife with that beautiful dump truck. If you know, you know. King Green, what do we know about him? He's an unorthodox striker. He has strong Brazilian jiu-jitsu, black belt. He has veteran savvy. He's 1-3 in his last 4. With a submission loss to Paddy Pimblett at UFC 304. And then he beat Jim Miller at UFC 300. But that was a war, right? Both those guys were going at it, if you remember that fight. And then he lost to Grant Dawson and Mauricio Hoofy. So I'm sorry, Mauricio Hoofy. His experience, he has a nice jab. He has good counter striking. But he does have a chin, man, and his reaction time as he's getting older is fading. His tendency, he drops his hands. He's vulnerable to power shots. He's going up against Diego Ferreira, who has good Brazilian jiu-jitsu himself. He has solid grappling. His striking is functional. He has poor takedown defense. but once he's on the ground, he's good. I think Fajeda's durable. I don't think King Green's gonna knock him out. I think he has more tools to win this fight, so I'm gonna go with Fajeda to get it done here.
I'm gonna go for it too, and I'm gonna. In fact, the thing is, Bobby's just gotten clipped too many different times, and
He doesn't look the same, bro. He's slower, right? Wouldn't you say he's a lot slower now?
Yeah, like and Father Time, like everybody gets different, right? Versus Ferreira, it's not that he's slower, but it's just that he will mix it up. He's gonna mix up the takedowns, the striking, the kicks, like that's the one thing. And like they have a common opponent, which is Grant Dawson. King Green knocked out Grant Dawson. In the other spectrum is Grant Dawson took a unanimous decision against Ferreira. But I mean, look, we're banking on the fact that Bobby's going to get a little bit too cocky, and Ferreira's going to just mix it up, take him down, try to work him. No.
I mean, when your only win is up against, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because if you look at King Green, right, in his last 5 fights, his only win is up against Jim Miller, who's an older guy as well, right? So is he only good against these older guys? Or are we kind of fooling ourselves?
No, he did not knock out Grant Dawson though.
In 2023, right? Yeah, well, that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was a while, and then like you got Tony Ferguson, you had
older guy,
Dober, like Nasrat, but Nasrat was on the come up there. So, I mean, he plays with fire a lot. Let's be honest with each other. This guy has like been through tough opposition.
It's interesting. They have this fight as the featured prelim. Do you think that changes?
I think it changes.
Yeah, because you have some bangers on the.
I think you give it to.
I think you put Ruziboev in battle, right?
Oh no, you give it to Hernandez and Hopper. If you want to build Hopper, you give it to Hopper. Hooper. Oh my God, Hooper.
Yeah, one of those. I wouldn't be mad with either of those actually. Yeah, but that's interesting that they put it as the featured prelim. Now we're both going with Fajeda to get it done. Moving on here to the main card. Opening the main card, we have Tim Elliott, who's making his return after some time, up against Kai Asakura. You were asking about Kai Asakura the other day. You're like, where's he at? Where's my boy at? Tim Elliott is 20, 13 and 1. And 3-5 last, beating Sumardeji via submission. Asakura is 21-5-0 and is 3-5 last, losing to Alexandre Pantoja via submission. My man, not only did he make his UFC debut, he made his UFC debut fighting on a pay-per-view card in a main event in a 5-round fight up against what many are touting as the early GOAT in Pantoja, right? Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy, bro.
When you look at Elliot, he comes forward, he puts on pressure, throws with volume, and looks to make it a fight. He isn't the most technical when it comes to striking, but he continues to move forward and pushes the pace. He is a solid grappler. However, he has had some time away from the octagon. He is back. He's going up against Kai Asakura, who's an aggressive and technical striker with a high finish rate. He's fast. He typically fights at bantamweight, but since his UFC debut, he's fought in that flyweight, right? So we had questions regarding his, like, how's he gonna look, right, at flyweight? How's his speed gonna look? How's his strength gonna look? And he looked good. He didn't have any of those things diminish, dropping down, and against Pantoja, he had moments where he looked good, where he showed that he can get. I mean, he went against Pantoja, bro, who fucking just mauls there, takes everybody down and mauls everybody, right? But he did have moments where he did look good on the feet. He did bring the fight up. I think this is an opportunity for Asakura to kind of live up to the hype that the UFC initially had around him and to get a victory here. So I'm gonna side with Asakura. I'm not sure if he's gonna win via decision or put Elliot away. That's something I have to look at a little bit closer, but I think Asakura should get the victory here. The UFC typically does this, man. They bring somebody over, they humble them first, and then they build them up. I'm kind of noticing that. Don't you agree? They did it with Patchy Mix. They did it with Patricio. They did it with Chandler. Don't you think like they kind of just bring them?
No. I mean, look, you faced a champion. You took a risk, and like, bro, it's a tough champion. Like Pantoja is like. His striking though, bro, we gotta work on that striking, bro. Like if you're because that's his only, like, again, going into the band fight, like that's the only thing he get in trouble with. But it's just like, and I was gonna say something. Remember months ago, bro, when everybody was complaining about, oh, why doesn't what's this guy, bro, that fought Pantoja, Kai Kara France, and I was like, boys, he doesn't deserve his title shot. He's only won 1 fight, remember? And I was keen on that. I'm like, he's not ready. And There you have it. You got to win a couple in a row, bro. I understand, but that's the reason why. Now, with Kai, the reason why he fought for the belt was because he's very well known in Japan. Let's be honest. Like kid has like a million or something in his YouTube channel. Like he's one of the fighters, bro. Remember one of the things we talked about the UFC being bought by Paramount, and I said fighters need to bring something to the table. He brings it. He brings attention. He brings his fan base, right? That being said, yeah, he's gonna be a little bit bigger than Tim. Tim is scrappy, man, but like I don't know where Tim's head's at, man. Tim is a wild card. Like Tim had a video of a girl, bro, of his booty call or his girlfriend naked in a video. He was like filming, bro. Go to this man's X page, bro. So I don't know. It's like Rocky said, bro. Women give men cold legs.
It's a myth, by the way, bro.
I know it's a myth, bro, but listen, don't disrespect the fictional character Rocky, bro. That being said, we're going with Asakura, baby.
Elliot has been submitted 6 times, and Asakura does have some submission threat in his arsenal. You think he gets a submission here?
But it's because he's such a wild card. Like when Tim's gotten those, it's because Tim puts himself in those positions because it's like the Energizer Bunny. He goes in there and starts. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when Merab started to fight, and Merab, like his first kind of 2 fights, he lost because he was so, like he would just like no game plan and go. That's Tim. Yeah. Just go and just work on or just feel good and just out aggressive style. So. Yeah, I mean, look, he can catch it. Like, this guy's way bigger. So if Tim tried to go for a takedown and start to lock a guillotine and he gets to the right position, it's a night-night.
Right on. We're both on the side of Kai Asakura to get his first UFC win here. We'll move on. If you're still listening, there are timestamps in the video for you to fast forward to whatever fight you want to listen to us break down. Below in the description, make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the subscribe, make sure you follow us on X at Combat Sport, guys. Show some love. That's all we ask for. We're not charging anything. All we ask is for you guys to hit us up with a like, a subscription, or a follow. And we'll move on here to our next fight, where I feel that you were kind of battling with who you're gonna pick in this fight. You have both your loves here, man. The guys that you never pick against, bro. Every time we breaking down these 2 cats, you have Jared.
This hurts, bro. This hurts.
I'm pretty sure. But when I saw this fight, remember when this fight got announced, I messaged it to you. I said, "Hey, bro, how heartbroken are you right now?" and you responded, "Bro, don't even ask me this right now. I can't handle it." So you have Jared, the Killer Gorilla Cannonier, taking on Michael Venom Page. Cannonier is 18-8-0 in his 3-5 last, beating Gregory Rodriguez via KO. Which, speaking of Rocky, that fight reminded me of fucking Rocky 4, bro, with the Russian. Yep. Rodriguez came out looking like he was created in a fucking lab, was dropping bombs, throwing Cannonier around, bro. I was so excited, bro. I had that, finished bet on Gregory. I was getting ready to talk shit to you. I was pre-typing my trash talk, and then we got to the second round. I was like, okay, hold on. Let me put my phone down. We get
plus 200, plus 200.
I remember, yeah. So, anyways, we get Michael Venom Page, who's 23-3-0 in his 3-5 last, beating Shara Magomedov via unanimous decision. Now, breaking down both these fighters, right? You look at Cannonier, right? Cannonier is a solid boxer with legit power behind his strikes, right? He's very durable. We've seen how durable he is. We saw it in the Kyle Barallo fight. We saw it in the previous fight with Gregory Rodriguez. He has nice leg kicks. He does often leave himself open to getting countered. His wrestling is not the best, but he does have solid takedown defense. If he does get taken down, he does a good job of bringing the fight back to his feet. He has power, right? So he's going up against an individual in Michael Venom Page who has solid striking and very intriguing movement, right? He has a karate stance. Very few people have been able to figure out his movement and how to counter it, right? Shara had a difficult time, right? Even Shara talked about it, like the guy, bro, the way Michael Venom Page covers distance, right? Like he has that stance, he moves in and out. His blitzing is really good. He's extremely fast. He covers distance. He's long. He's lengthy. Yeah, so he has solid kickboxing. His takedown defense is also good at 63%. I just see him winning this fight on the scorecards, man. I don't see him putting out Cannonier, and I don't see Cannonier. Does Cannonier push him up against the cage, utilize some dirty boxing and take him out. It's a possibility if you're on the side of Cannonier, but I just think, the only person who kind of figured it out was Ian Gary, right? Because he realized, like, listen, this guy's striking is fucking next level. I have to incorporate the wrestling here. Let me take him down. And he got it done that way on the scorecards. But I don't see Cannonier coming in with the wrestling game plan. I don't see it. I think this is going to be a striking fight. It's going to be similar to the Shara fight, in my opinion, where Cannonier's hanging on, but he's trying to figure out that movement, man, that wide stance. He moves in and out very quick. But yeah, man, I'm going with Michael Venom Page.
Plus 200.
Yeah.
Versus Magomedov. Yeah, man, it's a tough fight. I think here the main issue is the speed. Because against Rodriguez, there's no speed, there's power.
And the height, bro. Rodriguez is pretty tall too, right? But Rodriguez doesn't have speed, though. Rodriguez doesn't have speed.
No, exactly. He has power. And that's why, like I told you, when my boy got stunned in the first round,
I was so happy, bro. Like,
easy boys. I should have hopped on the live bet. I should have didn't bet more money. But you never know. That's why, like, one time and I went big on that fight. I think I put like $200 and made $600.
Yeah, no, listen. That's a perfect example of how we're consistently giving you guys plus money plays, right? Make sure you tap in. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you show some love. You know how hard it is to predict a parlay or to put a parlay together or put a prop bet together at plus money, at even money, at negative money. You know how hard it is for those to hit, yet alone doing it consistently week after week. And that's something we kind of hit a stride on. I think we're on 6 weeks where we've given everybody either a plus money parlay, plus money props, or plus money line, right? And we're very consistent with it. That's something I'm very proud of. And you did well, man, predicting that fight. You should have smacked the money line, the live bet. That would have made you, what, $1,000?
That would have been crazy. But let's go back into this fight before I forget. But you're dealing with a guy that's going to have a speed advantage here. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how Cannonier could take him down, and there is that possibility, but how? Because the length, like, and also like I would say this, Ian Gary, bro, he's good, but he's also quick, and I think that is the main thing. And we got to remember too, this Ian Gary fight, it was kind of like a split decision in a way. It wasn't, but in my eyes, Page took the first round, but then Ian adapted. So Ian is also very quick and mixed it up. So we'll see, man. Can Jared Cannonier switch it up? Can he clip some? Page has been knocked out before, so it's really
3 rounds. This is 3 rounds too. So
yeah, so it's really a matter of like how much does Page control the distance, gets on the in out? Does he put his chin at risk? Because there's also that factor too, right? I'm gonna go with Page for this one.
Yeah, and also does Page allow his chin to be at risk, right? Because he does a really good job of managing range and covering distance, right? So it's going to be a good fight. I think this is one of the fights that I'm most excited for is the Cannonier versus Page. I think it's going to be a decent scrap. We're both on the side of Page. We'll move on here to our next bout. We have Jeff Neal taking on Carlos Prates. This fight was originally supposed to happen in Miami. Jeff Neal pulled out. They did some mixing and matching. They put Carlos Prates up against Ian Machado Gary, who gave him an L, right? He was on a win streak. He lost via unanimous decision, but in that fight, he answered questions regarding his gas tank. Oh, he smokes too much cigarettes. He's not going to make it past the 3rd round. He's going to be gassed. He's going to be breathing through his mouth. He looked good, bro. Oh, he's going to get taken down. When he faces somebody with decent wrestling, he's going to get taken down. He's going to get smothered. My boy stopped 15 of 19 takedowns. And again, those takedowns weren't necessarily takedowns trying to take him down and control him. They were takedowns trying to keep him guessing, right? And one of the things that Gary did well in that fight was he just kept that pace throughout 5 rounds, right? He kept that pace. He kept shooting takedowns. He kept them guessing. But I think Prates came out of that fight better. Neal is 16-6-0 and is 3-5 last, beating Rafael Dos Anjos via TKO. Dos Anjos, if you remember, he injured his leg in that fight. It was a weird injury. He injured his leg. He fell back, and then he hit him with a shot, and then he got the victory. Prates is 21-7-0 and is 4-5 last, losing to Ian Gary via unanimous decision, where he was a couple shots away from winning that fight, man. In that 5th round, you know how excited I was, bro? I was at the edge of my seat, bro. He was fucking landing. I don't know why he didn't continue to keep hammering away. But anyways, he lost. Yeah,
Fatigue.
fatigued. He lost via unanimous decision. You look on the side of Neal, he's a solid striker who throws with volume. He has some decent power behind his shots. He has some good pop. He has solid takedown defense, but prefers to keep the fight standing and at range, right? He likes to utilize that range. Prates, as I mentioned, he answered questions last time out against Ian Gary, and I think that's one of those fights where he comes out better. He's a long, rangy striker with that Muay Thai background, right? He has great kicks. He likes to throw them to the legs, body, head, and fights at a high pace throughout the entirety of the fight. He gets you in that clinch. He throws those knees to the body. He gets that dirty boxing going. This is going to be an interesting fight, man, and I'm surprised that the odds are kind of this far out because Neal is pretty good, man. And this fight's going to be a striking fight. It's going to be similar to the Cannonier and Michael Venom Page fight, where it's going to be entertaining all throughout. But I think Prates gets it done, man. I think 3-round fight. He's going to push the pace. I see him closing the distance where Neal likes to utilize the range, right? And then find his shots. I think Prates is going to negate that and close the distance, put the pressure, land some knees to the body, put him up against the fence, and maybe get the finish here. So I'm going to go with Prates, man. I think he gets back in the W column and he's back on that road.
Yeah, we're going with Prates too. I think the issue with Neal is that he's giving out three inches of reach, and then when it comes to size, you're giving out 3 other inches. So it's like 6 inches in totals. And against Prates, he's kind of known for that.
Yeah.
Right? Like Neal's a little bit more heavy-handed. If I'm Prates, I'm trying to look for the takedown. Sorry, not Prates, Neal. But we saw how good Prates was against Ian Gary when it comes to it. So I mean, look, this is a tough fight, man. I'm gonna go with Prates, but like the one thing I'll say, like when Neal has had a time to I just haven't seen Neal perform under the bright lights. You feel me? Like I'm trying to think the last time it was Vicente Luque, he knocked the guy out, but the Ponzinibbio split decision didn't really surprise me.
Ponzinibbio, bro, come on.
I want to be respectful. Exactly.
I get you. I could be disrespectful. Let me be the hater, bro.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, yeah, like it's not good for Ponzi. Is not the same Ponzi he was when he fought Mike Perry, for example.
Yeah.
Like he was very conditioned. The RDA fight, RDA is just trying to find a home.
He's old, bro. I think he's at 40, right? He's 40 years old.
He fought Fiziev prior to that. Rafael fought Fiziev. I'm gonna go with Prates, man. I think there's two people for me and this is what I was gonna suggest. Like I want us to have like a lock of the night, so we could pick 2 bets that are just like this is our lock.
Our most confident pick, yeah.
Yeah, and for me it's a parlay with Prates and Chimaev, but we'll get into that later.
Don't be giving away the main event, bro. Who you going for? Prates is one of the people you're going for. We're gonna have to edit that out, brother. I'm just kidding. Fuck it, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I think this is a perfect spot, and I think there's going to be a lot of recency bias for some people saying that, oh, Ian exposed him. Ian, you know how the MMA toxicity is, right? I think there's going to be a lot of that, but I think he's going to come out victorious here. So I'm on the side of Prates as you are. We'll move on to our next fight, our co-main event coming in. Leon Murphy taking on Aaron Pico, the debuting Aaron Pico. Now, this is a very interesting fight, man. Very interesting fight. Murphy is 16-0-1 and is 5-5 last beating Josh Emmett via unanimous decision. Pico is 13-4-0 and is 4-5 last beating Henry Corrales via KO TKO, where Henry Corrales had originally knocked him out, I believe, right? He came back, he got his lick back, got his win. Corrales was coming in on short notice for that fight, but he avenged his loss. He initially lost to Corrales in 2019. So 6 years later, they fight again. 5 years later, they fight again. On short notice, he gets the ground and pound victory, right? He hasn't fought since February 24, Pico, right? But he is currently the betting favorite up against Lerone Murphy. And that's something that I found interesting throughout the week, right? He's making his UFC debut. He was originally supposed to fight Movsar Evloev. Whoa.
Yeah,
I'm having a stroke here. Whoa. Evloev, yeah.
Evloev.
What the hell just happened, bro? That concerned me a little bit, brother. I'm going to have to call my mom. Be like, hey, ma. But anyways, when you look on the side of Pico, right, like, what do we know about Pico? Pico, he's making his UFC debut, obviously. He was originally supposed to fight Movsar in a 5-round bout in Abu Dhabi, I believe, right? That was the main event. That got squashed. He's a really good striker, man. He's a solid boxer. He's a former Golden Gloves champ. He used to train at Manny Pacquiao's gym. And when you watch his fights and look at the tape, he throws nice hooks to the body, nice combinations. He hits you up at top. He hits you up top. And then as you're covering up to protect yourself, he fucking lands those liver shots, right? He's very good in that regard. He also has solid grappling. He looks to, secure the single leg, the double leg, and then once on the ground, he kind of mauls you and, incorporates the ground and pounder, looks for the submissions. He's a great wrestler. He's a freestyle wrestler. He trains with Hamza Chimaev. He also trains with the strength and conditioning coach. So his conditioning and cardio is exceptional. This is a great fight. He has Murphy, when you look at the side of Murphy, right? Let's break him down. Murphy is a solid striker. He throws nice combinations as well. He has good boxing, good footwork. That's the differentiating factor between the two, in my opinion. He has good footwork and he moves laterally. He can scramble on the ground and bring the fight back to his feet if taken down. Questions about his chin because Ige dropped them. People are saying, "Oh, Ige touched his chin." Elliot, I think you were one of the guys that said Elliot, bro. He has that knockout power. He's gonna be able to not Elliot, Emmett. Emmett has that knockout power. He's going to be able to knock him out. And what did he do? He fought a very, very smart game plan. Like, he took the issues and the criticisms from the Ige fight and he incorporated it into the Emmett fight, and he fought a well-rounded fight. A lot of people think it's boring because he goes to decision, but he point fought. He used the range. He attacked the leg, attacked the body, utilized that movement, utilized that good footwork. Didn't let Emmett get in and get his stuff going, right? He looked really good. It was a really great performance and game plan against Emmett, right? Here, questions are short notice, right? Somewhat short notice. He does maintain himself fight ready. I did see online and at the embedded that he got into the States on Monday. So that's a bit of a concern because one of the things I look at when people who live in other countries is when do they get to where they're fighting, right? Do they get there 2 weeks or 3 weeks prior to get their body acclimated, to get the jet lag out, to because when you come in on Monday, you got media day, you got all this other crap, right? That could throw you off. So that's a little bit of the concern that I have. But I think, in a 3-round fight, Murphy as an underdog who's fought tougher competition, in my opinion, in the UFC, right? With the UFC caliber of fighters. Aaron Pico's a good fighter. I think he's going to have a great career. I don't see him finishing Murphy. I see him getting takedowns, but I also see Murphy bringing the fight. Like, you look at Murphy up against who was it? I wrote it down here. I think it was not Emmett. It was it was a grappler. It was a Brazilian grappler. He fought at UFC Santos. I think it's Gabriel Santos. Is Gabriel Santos there?
Gabriel Santos.
Yeah, you look at the Gabriel Santos fight. Gabriel Santos was able to take him down a couple times in that fight, but Gabriel Santos is good on the ground, right? He has good grappling, he has good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, different form of grappling in comparison to Pico. But what I'm trying to get is that Murphy was able to stop a few of them, do well on the scrambles, bring the fight back up to his feet. And I think in this fight with Aaron Pico, for how reckless he is, how aggressive he is in his fighting status, I think it's going to be a demonstration in Murphy's footwork, lateral movement, striking, like popping, moving in and out, making this a boxing match, not letting Pico get the grappling going, right? Making this a striking fight, like kind of just working around the octagon, And who knows, how are the nerves going to set in for Pico, right? This is a big stage. It's a pay-per-view card, main event, a lot of pressure. I'm going to go with Murphy to get it done as the dog here, man. I think Murphy by decision is a prop that I'm probably going to play.
Yeah, and
he's a smart fighter, man.
I just had to go back into like the last time Murphy fought to see how he performed against Emmett, to see, because the range, I have pit Emmett, but the range distribution was very good. It was very apparent that it's like, bro, I'm not gonna strike with you. I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna try to take you down. So I expect he's gonna do something very similar to Josh Emmett, and he might surprise him a little bit. I might switch it up. Now with Pico is like this myth, and I think that's the issue, bro. Like, they've been bringing Pico up from, like, Pico had a Bellator debut, right? 0-0, fought a professional guy, and he's a minus 1,000. This is the guy. What is his opponent? They knocked him out, bro, in the first round.
Yeah, so, I remember that fight. Yeah, you're talking about the what fight was that? I remember watching that.
It was a Bellator Madison Square Garden. And
was it Henry Corrales? think it was their first fight.
Yeah, if it's that. Well, I don't remember the guy. The guy. Like,
Yeah. Oh, you said it was his Bellator debut.
yeah, got knocked out.
No, his debut he got submitted by Zach Freeman.
Okay, that's the one that I remember. Sorry.
Yeah, Bellator New York
They
City.
probably clicked him and took him out.
Yeah, he got knocked out in 24 seconds. This was.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like we need to stop. People need to stop putting hype on this kid because you got to expect that there's an insane amount of pressure on this guy to perform. It's like DC said, this is the first blue chip MMA athlete that's ever, bro. Like he's a kid, and he's first time in the UFC as a co-main event fight.
And what did I say earlier, bro? The UFC always does this with talent from outside, right? They bring them in, they kind of humble them a bit, right? They give them a tough opponent, and then they kind of build them up. And I'm not saying that Aaron Pico doesn't deserve the hype. I'm not saying that he's not good. I think he's actually very good. He has striking, he has grappling, he has conditioning. He's going to be very good in this division. But I think up against Lerone Murphy, who's been asking for a shot at the title, whose fights very smart, I think it's a tough fight for him, and I think it's going to go to the scorecards. Like, do you see Pico finishing him? Do you think he's that good to where he takes him down and just completely controls him and grounds and pounds him? I mean, it's a possibility, right?
It's a possibility, right? There's a possibility that the thing is, like, Pico should have more superior grappling than this dude, at least.
Of course, yeah.
Right?
Murphy has been taken down. I think Josh Emmett, looking at the stats, took him down 4 out of 11 times and controlled him for 3 minutes in a 5-round fight.
I gotta say, I'm staying away from this fight. I'm gonna watch it as a fan. I'm gonna go with Murphy. But if you don't mind, if you like money lines, Pico's there. Murphy's there. What's the decision for Murphy?
Plus 245, I think, or plus 220.
Yeah. So I mean, look, that one.
Listen, brother, you stay away. You stay safe. You go lay down, belly up, enjoy the fight, bro. The D-Gens, we're gonna smash the decision bet for Murphy. Don't worry about it. And then I think what a good spot here for you is live bet. I think this is a perfect spot for you to live bet, because if Pico has trouble closing the distance, taking him down initially,
it will shift immediately.
That's what I'm saying. The way you watch fights and the way we kind of analyze them, you're gonna know right away, okay, this fight's gonna be long, bro, and you're gonna be able to make a live bet. So I think this is a perfect spot for you to live bet here. Or it could go the other way around, where Pico fucking just manhandles him. You're like, okay, he's gonna get the finish in the second round. That's
if this wallet wants to give me my money, yeah. If they allow me to,
well, you got a couple of days, brother. You got a couple of days.
Yeah, like
you got to call tech support. You still have money in your crypto wallets?
Yeah, no,
bro. I have random, but I have something locked up in staking, like one of the coins that I got.
Yeah.
And it's been giving me like 50 cents a day, bro. I'm up to like $80, $90, I think.
Send that over. Listen, let's send that over and I'll make you some money.
I'm letting that ride, bro, until it gets to like 50. Because I have about like I think $1,000 of it locked up, because the coin's doing bad, but it's $1,000 locked up, but I'm getting 50 cents a day. So
dividends. That's cool. That's W, right? W something.
Yeah, it's W. Yeah, I haven't touched it though, but I looked at it the other day because I was curious. So like, let me see where I'm at, bro. You want to talk about idiocracy, bro? I had $12,000 waiting right there, and I didn't take any. I took some of it out, but I didn't take any, bro. I took some out, bro, and then 5K turned into $500, bro. You know how gut wrenching that is, bro.
That could have been money bet, like, and that's the thing of that. Bro, crypto money is money betting for me.
But bro, that 5K turned to $500, bro. That's worse than a heartbreak, bro. And I've had my heart broken many times, bro.
That's crazy. But yeah, we're gonna go with Murphy. He gets it done.
Oh, you're picking Murphy, but you're gonna stay away from this. Okay. Good fight, right? I think Aaron Pico's a good prospect, man. Good talent.
Very good. Yeah, he's very
good. But then again, you look at the guys that are hyped, like, let me rephrase that.
But why don't we give this kid a top 15? Let
me rephrase this. Let me rephrase this. You mentioned DC, right? DC works for the UFC, so he has to sell fights. He has to conduct them.
So let me just say something very quickly.
No, but let me just say that he has to conduct himself in a certain way because he's employed by the UFC, right?
But, no. So for DC, this kid is different, because here's the thing about it: the management company that brought DC, that brought him up from Strikeforce to whatever it is, was the same. The thing is, Aaron Pico was an AKA fighter, similar to DC. So he got to bring him up. He got to see the wrestling. That's why when he speaks, he's not speaking from like, I know this kid when he started.
Yeah,
No, I know this kid prior to MMA.
But
Because
do you know what I'm
management.
saying? Do you understand what I'm
No.
saying?
He
Like
has
he
to
has
say
to
that,
be
but
unbiased. Like he has to be unbiased when it comes to fights. Like he can't say, "Oh yeah, Anthony Hernandez is gonna fuck up Roman Dolidze." He
no.
has to kind of talk both, like kind of what we're doing. He has to kind of talk
Yeah,
both of them
but
and then
he's
give.
seen things that other people haven't seen, and like
No, a lot of people, like a lot of experts, like I think Henry Cejudo and Usman, they had him on the podcast, and they're really big on him. I think Henry Cejudo and Usman broke down this card. I think Cejudo is on the side of Pico here. He's on the side of Pico, so a lot of people are behind him, man. He's good. Don't get me wrong, he's good. I'm not shitting on him. He's good, but I just think Lerone Murphy, man, number 11.
Lerone is a like never fight a top 10, bro. Never top 15. Start. Even Ivalov, bro. Ivalov was a whole different animal too. Like, bro, I don't understand. Like, I get it because it's like, but it's like, don't put this kid in the fire. Like we've seen what happens in the fire. Let him mold. Let him get there, but don't rush him. But to his eyes, he's him, bro. He's him, and I think that's the main issue. But we're gonna find out because if he comes in, knocks Murphy out.
Yeah. I just think Murphy's fight IQ, his level of competition, I think it's just that much better. And I think it's going to be it's a tough fight for both of them because Murphy's fighting somebody who's unknown to the UFC, right? He could bring a different level of threat, different pace. And then somebody who's coming in to prove a point, right? That's the most dangerous type of guy you fight, right? Someone who's coming in to prove a point. Pico's probably going to look for that spectacular victory here, right? So he might come in aggressive. He might overextend. So it's going to be a great fight. We're going to learn a lot. We know we might learn a lot about Murphy in regards to whether or not he loses here, right? Like, okay, and we're gonna learn a lot of Pico. Like Pico's that guy. So we're gonna learn a lot. But we're both on the side of Murphy to get it done here. We'll move on to our main event. We have Dricus du Plessis going up against Khamzat Chimaev. Now, du Plessis is 23-2-0 and is 5-5 last, beating Sean Strickland via unanimous decision, where he broke his nose. He freaking great fight. I think he was was he an underdog in that fight or was he the favorite? I think he was a favorite, right?
Du Plessis. He was the favorite.
He was the favorite. Okay, he was the underdog in the first fight, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Chimaev is 14-0 and is 5-5 last, beating Robert Whittaker via submission face crank, where he literally took that man's teeth out from his jaw. Man, that was one of the most vicious, like grotesque fucking.
But he has something. He had an issue before. That's the only thing I'll say. Okay.
Yeah. So looking at these two fighters, right? Du Plessis. What do we love about Du Plessis? Du Plessis is unorthodox. He's what the kids would call goofy, but he's savage. He continuously moves forward. He finds way to land his shots and lands takedowns. He's sloppy. When you think he's tired, when you think he looks gassed, that's when he's at his best, right? Because he has good cardio. He has good cardio. He has that dog mentality. He's a big dude, right? He walks around at 230, 240. He's very big. He throws vicious hooks. He has good cardio. He has the championship experience in 5-round fights, and his takedown defense is at 50%. You know, one of the things I talked about, one of the things I tweeted, that in his UFC career, he's 9-0. There have only been 6 takedown attempts on Dricus du Plessis, with 3 of them only being successful. That's a crazy stat. And you know who the only persons to take him down?
Oh.
Derek Brunson took him down and controlled him for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Darren Till took him down for 23 seconds. Robert Whittaker took him down for 23 seconds. Israel Adesanya and Brad Tavares both tried to take him down, but they were unsuccessful. So my point in that is that he's going up against an aggressive freestyle wrestler in Chimaev who covers distance like a motherfucker, bro. Like he shoots from halfway across the octagon. The way he closed the distance on Whittaker was crazy, right? He shot from it looked like he shot from the other side of the octagon.
Half court. From half court.
Yeah, from half court. My boy he does the knee cancellation. I don't know if you play Call of Duty or Fortnite. He does the knee cancellation. So, Chimaev, he has the exceptional freestyle wrestling. He's been wrestling since he was 5 years old. He covers distance well. He'll shoot a double or single from across the octagon. Once he secures your legs, he clamps onto your body, begins to search for leg hooks, and uses the Dagestani handcuffs to secure his takedown. His striking is functional, but primarily looks to get you to the ground. He has good striking. And the interesting thing was Khabib Nurmagomedov said that he should strike with Dricus. He should strike with him, but I disagree. I think he should just Do what brought you to the dance, right? What do we always say here?
Mix it
Do
up.
what brought you to the
Mix it
dance.
up,
Take him
bro.
down. Take him down. His
Oh,
cardio
but
has been. What was that?
sorry, let's see how good DDP's takedown defense is.
Yeah,
And
and that's my point. Like he's fighting. This is probably his toughest competition, right? They're both their toughest competition, if I'm being honest
it's
here.
gonna be
Um,
crazy if you might win, bro.
yeah, his cardio, however, has been tested, right? A lot of people like to bring up the fights with Gilbert Burns, which was at welterweight, right? The fight with Gilbert Burns, the fight with Kamaru Usman, where he looked tired, and a lot of people say if that was a 5-round fight, he would have lost. But if you look at the stats, for what it is, without looking at the fight, he beat Usman in all areas. So, like in that Usman fight, he took Usman down 4 out of 12 times. He won the first round. It was a 10-8 round. They scored it. He took him down 4 times and he controlled him for 7 minutes in a 3-round fight. Who do you know does that to Kamaru Usman?
Supposed to say Leon Edwards, but it's not Leon Edwards.
Leon Edwards knocked him out, right? But exactly. So my point here is, cardio aside, he understands what's at point, what's at risk here. He talked about him being ready for the fight to finish in 1 round or the fight to go the distance. He's training with TJ Dillashaw, strength and conditioning coach, right? I don't have his name at the top of my head, but you talked about yeah, you talked about that throughout the week. Like he understands what it is. So like people who use that excuse, like, oh, Usman had him tired, like, bro, these guys know what they're like. He's been prepping for this for a month, right? So that's an excuse that I don't really fly with. We're gonna really see Duplessis' takedown defense be tested here, but I think Chimaev, man, for what it's worth, this guy's a beast, man. When he was fucking fighting every week during COVID, right, on Fight Island, like this guy's a problem, man. This guy's a problem. I think he gets it done.
Well, and let's be honest, right? The inactivity of Hamzat has been because of COVID, and it's just kept him sick. He's one of these, like, for how tough he is, he overtrains, right? And then he would get sick, but that was years ago. He addressed that already.
And he also has, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but he also has visa issues. He couldn't come into the States, so he was only subjected to fighting in Abu Dhabi, right, or in that part of the country. So that really limited his fight time.
Yeah, I mean, like, we won't get into politics. We got another 3.5 years with Trump, but if that changes, I think they'll. I don't know. It's weird. But anyways, I was gonna say, man, DDP has all the skill sets to prove us wrong. However, I think Chimaev is him. Like, you want to see how versatile is Chimaev. Like, Chimaev went from fighting. Who was it? Who did he fight prior to Usman?
He fought Usman. He fought Holland, Burns.
Submitting Kevin Holland to fighting the number 2 guy in the welterweight division. And yeah, man, if it was tough. Like, the thing is, when you have that much control against a fighter, brother, like, there has to be something. Like, you have to go balls to the walls on Kamaru Usman because, oh yeah, Kamaru, I was having them, and you know how Henry still loves to pamper. Yeah, Kamaru, but if you would have had 2 more rounds, and I'm like, well, then he would have prepared for 2 more rounds. But then it's also the fact that Chimaev went harder than he should have,
and that was on short notice. You're getting Usman. You're getting Usman at 185 at short notice
for Usman, right? And there has to be some level of training there, right? But I'll say this, man. DDP could have said it. I do have Chimaev and Prates on a good parlay, but I'm not convinced on the takedowns. I'm not like, and he's very like arrogant.
What do you mean you're not convinced on the takedowns? You're not convinced that Chimaev can take him down?
No, on DDP to
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because here's the one thing that I've been seeing for years. One of the things that makes DDP so good and that makes RDR so good is that they're weight bullies.
But yeah, and then also to piggyback on what you're saying, DDP has fought primarily strikers, right? Like if you look at his record, Brad Tavares, Darren Till, Robert Whitaker, Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya, he does well against those guys, right? Who fight at range because he pushes the pace, he moves forward.
I remember this guy's issue was like cardio, and it completely did well. But it's also the power thing. Like, because the first one with Sean Strickland was close, but then damage went to
The judges didn't want Sean Strickland to
Edie.
win in Canada, brother. They didn't want that. They
No,
didn't want. They didn't want that post fight speech.
no, it was a. He still gave it either way.
Your boy Trudeau. What is his name? Trudeau. He made a
Trudeau.
call, bro. He made a call. He's like, hey, listen.
Yeah,
But-
man, these two guys are big. I'm gonna go with Chimaev.
Yeah.
But like you're disrespecting the champion and giving him as an underdog, bro.
Yeah, and I think an interesting stat that you put out on X was there's been 4 champions who've been the underdogs this year, and they've all won.
Yep.
Right? They've all won. One of them is Weili
Merab,
Zhang, Weili, Merab, Valentina. Who else?
That's it.
Those also 3 champs, and we bet on all of them.
Yep.
So we're betting against the champ this time. You know, I wanted to touch on something real quick. Tom Aspinall, I don't know if you saw this, but Tom Aspinall broke down how Chimaev secures his takedowns. And one of the things he's done, and he broke it down so well that I'm gonna repeat it, because he said that Chimaev shoots low, right? He shoots low and he gets his knee on the ground. So when he shoots low, his opponent sprawls. And when they sprawl, he comes up and he turns around and he secures the back because they're already off balance. And he does that very well. And he kind of broke it down how he does it and how he's able to secure the back of his opponents and control their bodies and bring them down to the ground. And that's very true. So when you watch Chimaev or when you're breaking down film, look how he enters and look how he shoots low. He has his knees on the ground. He does it in all his fights. And the way Tom Aspinall broke it down made me kind of like understand it a little better. And yeah, man, we're going to see. We're going to see. Real quick, before we head out, the UFC's new partnership with Paramount, $7.7 billion for 7 years, or how many years?
7 years for 1.1 billion every year.
So let's look at the numbers, right? ESPN had them for 4 years for 240 or 14 million, around that area. They're getting
it was 1 point something billion for
1 point something billion. No, I'm talking for ESPN.
Yeah,
for 1 year, 1.6 billion.
No, sorry, for like 6-7 years. It wasn't that much. It wasn't that much.
They've been on ESPN for 6 years already.
Yeah, 6-7 years. Yeah,
damn, it's been 6 years. Oh shit,
yeah,
bro, I'm getting old, bro. But anyways, this so it's 7x the amount, right? And a lot of the conversations are, what is this going to do for pay-per-view points? Because they talk about pay-per-views being not eliminated in its totality, but being cut down, right? We're going to have some pay-per-views, but we're not going to have one every week. So there's talks about, how do champions get compensated, because in the past they would fight for pay-per-view points, right? How is this going to affect fighter pay? How is this going to affect bonuses? Some of those questions were answered at the Contender Series, and I'm sure Dana White's going to get way more questions this weekend, right? But yep. Dana White stated that the bonuses are going to increase, the base pay should increase, and that they're coming up with a plan to increase fighter pay or to get compensated for the points. I would imagine a lot of them are going to get restructured their contracts, so we'll find out more. And
but champions are going to get restructured.
Yeah, champions are going to get restructured, and Rogan is staying with the broadcasting team because
as long as Dana's there, he's staying.
Well, Joe Rogan talked about it before, because in the past, when they first got the ESPN deal, they were talking to HBO, I think, and Showtime. And one of the reasons they didn't go with them, I think it was HBO. I want to say it was HBO. Don't quote me on this, but they didn't want to go with HBO because HBO said, "Hey, we'll give you this. We're gonna promote it. We're gonna do all this, but we are gonna give you our own broadcast team, our own interviewers, our own media." And Dana's like, "No, these are my guys," right? So that's part of the reason why they didn't want to go that route. So it's good that Joe Rogan's going to stick around. I mean, as annoying as he is for a lot of people, he's a legend in the sport, man.
Well, they're the product, and they've gotten so good at the product, right? It's just like, what do you call it? They're good, man. They're good. I mean, Bisping, when it feels like Bisping sometimes is drunk, or I don't know, bro. Drinking a little bit of cantina, bro. I don't know what's going on with Bisping sometimes, but he's good. He's good at what he does.
They say some crazy stuff. So like they told, who was it last week? I tweeted it out. They told somebody that he's 10-0 when he lost his last fight. So Bisping was like, "Congratulations, you're 10 wins in a row." And I'm like, "Bro, he lost his last fight. What are you talking about?" But anyways, we'll move on from that. I'm excited for this card, man. I'm excited for this weekend. We'll be back next week. I think we have UFC China. I think is next week, right?
Waldo, baby, Waldo.
We have your boy Waldo Cortez, who has been on the show. Make sure you check out that interview, which is in Spanglish, I would imagine. My boy got that one done. Make sure you follow us on X. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, show some love. There are timestamps below. We're gonna be out this bitch. Any parting words, man?
Now let's take it home, brother.
Right,
Live
we're out.
betting goes on X, so just be there.
And floor price guy, no one does it like you, brother. You've been killing it with the live bets. You've been killing it with the dog bets. We've given you plus money parlays, plus money props, plus money money line. Sure enough, we're going to continue to do it. So love what you love. Do what you do. We're out. Peace.